What's up to all my lights out there? It's Suave, and I'm here with
Brian.
Yes, and we just went to this place out here in Vegas called The Big Jerk. It's a bit pricey, a bit on the pricey side.
It's definitely pricey.
Yeah.
It is on the pricey side. I paid $20 for 4 ribs and 2 chickens, I think. I'm not sure how much chicken is in there, but I know that there's chicken in there. Looks a little wear and tear, but yeah, what did you get?
I got the oxtail. I'm a little disappointed in these fries, but we're gonna see how they taste.
There's about 5 fries in there for y'all. You guys take
it's about 6 fries, and then I got jerk chicken. So we're gonna try this out and see how it goes.
Say the chicken goes good with the sauce, so should we just try the chicken by itself and then with the sauce, or what do you think? We should just go in with the sauce?
Yeah, let's try it with the sauce. And this is the
Boomba
sauce
right here.
It's supposed to be super spicy. I don't normally do spicy, but we're gonna see how that goes.
I'm not much of a spicy person either, so
I'm kind of really wanting to try this.
The fry?
This fry. That's like,
I said fry, like you only had one. I don't know if you guys can see this too closely, but we'll get a shot so you can take a look. Mine looks a little worn down, but it does look tasty, so we'll see how it goes. All right, man. Cheers.
I got a lot.
All right.
It's like a barbecue.
Yeah, it's like a tangy. It's got a little kick to it for sure, though, in the end.
It's not that bad.
It's not good,
actually.
I wasn't too gracious with the sauce. I'm going to have to get in there and see how it goes.
Chicken is seasoned pretty nice.
Oh.
Disregard that alarm right there. Let me try this fry, though. This is not it.
No?
Yeah, it's not it.
No?
No.
What? Really? It's that bad?
This fry is not. You can try one.
It's like that? Let's see. What?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not too bad. It's like funnel cake that's not sweet. Oh, this for sure not chicken. Smell this. It smells a little.
Smells like cologne, or is that your cologne?
Yeah, that's kind of it.
Oh, it's sweet potato. This looks like it has like a bone in it.
That's what this was. I thought it was chicken.
What type of animal is that?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a vegan chicken or something like that.
This thing is good though. All right, we was kind of talking about something in the car. How you were saying that society's a little different from how it used to be.
Oh yeah, definitely. A little more, and I'm sure a lot of people that are in our generation agree. A little more, the newer generation are a little more sensitive, and it may not necessarily be a bad thing. It just means that their upbringing was maybe a little bit more sheltered than ours. So I guess when you only have your phones and a point of view through that screen, I guess it could be a very one-sided view. But when we were younger, we didn't have phones, so we would, obviously we would go to corners and talk with our friends and be social and have social environments. But obviously kids don't have that nowadays, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah, definitely.
So I have a ghost in the house.
That actually scared the hell out of me. Did somebody just break in?
Sorry about that.
Where society stands nowadays is more so everyone's getting insulted about something. Everyone's getting offended about something without trying to let things slide or understanding people's point of views. Like, people aren't going to see things as we see things. Right. Some people have a different way of living than we do, but I feel people are tending to get offended and want everyone to conform to one way of understanding. Like, you need to look at this from my point of view.
I mean, another example of that would be like money, right? So you see a person that's wealthy and they have a lot of money and assets and they drive up in a nice Benz. Automatically you think, oh man, this guy's he thinks they're a hot shot because of what they're driving or whatever the case, when it could have easily been the person that maybe had been working their whole life for that one particular purchase and they finally just got it. You know, you never really know anyone's story, but perspective is definitely a big thing. And I think that perspective when it comes to being offended, depending on who you are, is super important, because a lot of people are triggered by certain things because of an upbringing, whether it's like a traumatic memory or maybe just an experience or whatever the case. But it's a difficult circumstance to touch on, because everybody wants to be able to say that they're right, but there is no right or wrong in this circumstance.
That was a perfect way of saying it, understanding everyone's point of view. It will help better when people start to understand that there's different points of views and people have different mindsets, and not everyone's going to see things the same.
Right.
So it's not everything you need to be offended by. Just because someone doesn't see it your way, you don't have to take offense to it. I'm gonna try this mac and cheese.
You know, this rice is Uncle Ben's rice. This is some straight up Uncle Ben's rice. I know Uncle Ben's rice when I've had it, and this is some Uncle Ben's rice, right?
I will say this mac and cheese.
Really?
It's a little smack.
Let me see it. Probably what it is. Probably a pepper. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's definitely some like jalapeno or something in there. Right off the bat with this place, you're definitely going to have a lot of seasons, a lot of flavors, a lot of spices happening in your mouth. If you're a person that likes to have a nice clean presentation, a nice plate where you have your so-and-so on the sides and your main course in the middle nicely done, this is not going to be the place for that. So far, I'm enjoying the flavors, I'm enjoying the experience, but I personally wouldn't have paid this much for this kind of food.
For the price, no, but the food is great. I haven't tried this oxtail yet though, so
that's like the most expensive thing on your plate. I figured that'd be the first thing you'd go to.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
I gotta take another bite, John.
Alright.
I don't know yet. It's not worth $30.
No? Oh, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. It's not worth $30.
To be honest, my sister makes oxtails. Tastes better than this.
Oh, did you hear that?
Yeah.
What the hell, man? I can't even eat this without possibly dying. What the? Oh my god.
The mac and cheese is good though.
Good service though. Good people. I'll say that. They mean well. But y'all, come on. Come on.
If you guys want to find food like this,
are you about to do a referral?
My sister can buy oxtail. Go to any barbecue. Memorial Day weekend.
1 out of 10, what would you think?
If I was to rate it, I'd have to rate it in sections. So I would do the taste first, and the taste I would give about, the fries is like a 2.
He's just mad because you got 5 of them. That's why.
But I'll give like the overall probably like a 7. Maybe 6.5.
I give it a 6.5. This is a solid 6.5. Like, the chicken is really good. I'll say that. The chicken is good.
I'll give the mac and cheese a pretty high rating.
Yeah, no, the mac and cheese is interesting. I'm going to try this Bumble Cloud sauce, though.
Let me try this sauce.
Not even bad. It's like buffalo sauce. It creeps up on you.
Oh, yeah. That's got a little kick.
I like it, though.
That's it's a good sauce.
I think I could fuck that whole meal up with that sauce.
That opens the pores.
It did, didn't it? Did you feel your pores?
I started sweating a little bit immediately.
Okay.
Woo.
You alright, man?
Woo. It's got a kick.
I think that's more than a kick.
I'm gonna eat some of this
Let me eat my mac and cheese real quick.
My eyes got a little water.
I can eat like Tapatio and like, you know, basic stuff. This to me is around that level. I don't think it's like excess, but it definitely does creep up on you. I would say on the heat list, on the level, it's probably about like a 5 or a 6, 4-ish maybe.
Really, nigga?
She did say it was super hot. I don't think this is super hot. It is more of like a okay. Now he may not think that, but but for me, I think it's alright.
No, it's good. It's good because I want some more. But yeah, Brian here is a DJ.
Yeah.
Know that, but he DJs at local spots out here, and yeah, he's been into it for a long time. Like how was that experience for you?
I was really into expressing myself through like dancing. Super big on doing that. That's actually how we met. So you learn to, you know, put yourself in a group of people or in front of a group of people and express yourself without really having to worry about what they thought and do it confidently. You kind of take that in other parts of your life as well. I'm sure you do the same. My passion for DJing came from my love of music through dance. And that's the thing about it is, like, if you really have a passion for something, you don't have to have all the bells and whistles to be good at it. You know what I mean? Everybody starts from somewhere. It's all about really being consistent because it'll lead to that, I feel.
How were you able to maintain that passion, push to keep doing it to where you're at now?
You definitely gotta aim and dream big, but you also gotta set realistic goals. You can't just be like, I want to rock a crowd of 20,000 people. You gotta kind of set realistic goals for yourself, and then once you get to that step, oh man, all right, I gotta keep this momentum going and set another goal for yourself and keep doing that. My girlfriend's been teaching me to kind of write things down, so I got a calendar over there now. Never used to do it before, but when you write something down, it's going to be more likely to happen. And you're going to put yourself or set an expectation. You know, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing that day. It feels good to have something like that.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't feel like you're lost in limbo. And to be honest, I feel like lately I've been waking up in routine so often, it's mentally exhausting. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you're so caught up in your routine that you kind of think like, man, am I kind of a prison of this routine, or is there something that I can do besides that? And that's kind of what I've been trying to focus on lately, is trying to step out of routine. Rather it's maybe take the longer way home, or just little things like that. You just gotta really do your research, because nowadays there's no excuse for anything. Any art form, anything. You can look it up online right now. You can put it on your phone and it pops up.
Work towards it every day. Try to learn something about it every single day. Like any day that goes by, try to absorb as little, even if it's a small thing, but try to take in something that gears you towards your passion.
Perspective is important too, because let's say surrounding yourself with people that think like you is really important, because you are a product of your environment. Being artistic, being someone who expresses yourself is not only something that requires critical thinking. You got to be sensitive to the matter, because people are scared to put themselves out there and scared of rejection. Rather it's creating something, or you are the product. Like if you're a dancer or whatever the case, you put yourself out there and you fail, rather it's dance or whatever the case, you're gonna feel like, man, maybe this isn't something that I should be doing. Maybe this isn't what I'm meant to do.
Yeah. If you look at failure as growth opportunities instead of looking at it as you're actually backstepping or you're not good enough to do something, then I feel it helps you in a more significant way. You just need to know, like, failure is teaching you something. What is this teaching me? How can I improve? Where was I messing up at? Things like that. Like when you analyze yourself, you can be passionate towards something, and going towards that can gear you towards something else.
Right.
Like prime example was what he just said, how he went from dance to DJing, but you can see like the transition. It was all the love of music, but it took him from one thing to another thing, and now that passion grew into something else.
Think about yourself 5-10 years ago. Do you think that you're thinking the same way that you are now versus then? Of course not. You went through things in life. You learned trial and error, and it led you to have a more understanding of what's around you. Trial and error is super important. It's very, very good for anybody. Failures is the best thing. The worst thing that can happen to anybody is really having not a confident or understanding of who you are by yourself, because in the end, when you're when you're the highlight of the party, when you're that guy that everybody enjoys being around, and you are that, no problem, and you're by yourself and there's nobody with you, if you're not truly happy with who you are as a person or where you're going with, that's going to hit the hardest at those points, is because you really are vulnerable at that point in time. It's important to set goals. Realistic ones is the important part, because setting yourself up for failure could be worse than anything else. You know what I mean?
If you have a big goal, look at your small goals on how you can get to that big goal.
And those first steps are critical too, because you gotta have confidence in yourself too. If there's no practice, there's just gonna be a whole lot of sloppiness, if you will, like my chicken.
I will say I tried the oxtail a little bit more, and it's not bad. When you get some sauce in it, I think it's the sauce. The sauce. You're supposed to eat it with the sauce. How would you help someone to getting out there, getting themselves out there, putting themselves more in that light?
I'd say first and foremost, be humble. When you go in a situation where you're putting yourself out there, it's already a scary experience. So take it for what it is. Use that fear for energy. Be out there and put yourself out there, but don't emulate or be somebody that you're not. When you can tell somebody is being themselves, or when somebody's trying to be somebody different, it's pretty obvious. You know what I mean? When you meet somebody and they're saying, hey, this is who I am, nice to meet you, versus somebody that's like, what's up? And then they shake your hand, and then they kind of give you that, like, whatever, you know what I mean? The hardest part is to start a conversation, but it's easy to finish one.
To be honest, me in the beginning, I was someone who wasn't as social. I was really closed off to people.
I remember when I first met you. He had a sidekick, and
I was really closed off. I always was somebody who was like a deep thinker, and I would be quiet for the most time because I would just observe my atmosphere.
But you weren't a negative person.
Yeah, but I wasn't like a negative person or anything like that. But then over time, I just feel like I started to express myself more because I got to talking to people about things that I like. So I think finding out more stuff about yourself and what you like and who you are as a person, it helps you to express that out more to people, because then you actually know how to engage in a conversation. Another thing that helped me was dance. Dance put me out to be in a crowd of people where people watch you, and teaching dance and just being in that environment, it's a really social environment.
Shout out to all the dancers, by the way. Because dancing, if you're in it, you just know, because it's a culture where you can compete. It's a loving culture. It's a social culture. It's just a whole different environment as a whole. So it's important to have a hobby too. I think a good anchor, if you will, in life is to have something that you can keep going to, that you're either good at or you're trying to master. Because going back to what we were talking about earlier, it's good to have that one goal thing or something in substance to have in your life. It's important to have a substance in life, I think, for sure. It's something that you also got to respect as a person when you're putting yourself in that environment. Just because a person is more observant or quiet or isn't as socially adaptable as others, doesn't mean that they may not be the best person in that room for you to speak with. They could be the one person that could elevate you in a way or form that you couldn't have even thought of.
To be honest, I've had some of the deepest conversations with people that I never knew I could have deep conversations with. You see somebody in the room that you're like, hey, I want to say something to this person. Go up there and say something to that person, because you never know where the conversation could lead to. Take that leap sometimes and be like, hey, how are you?
That leap, if you will, could lead you to your best friend, a wife, a boss, somebody that can help you get to a better position in life. Always have an open mind with who you're speaking with, because you could be speaking with somebody that's going through something so tough in their life that they're not too sure how to speak about it with somebody. And you could be that one person that maybe has already gone through something like that, or has seen it happen firsthand elsewhere, that could be the perfect person to say, hey, listen, this is what you're going to expect. This is what I went through. This is what I can do for you to help you. And it's crucial in life. And I'd rather it be for somebody that's depressed, looking for a friend, or just somebody that's, really just in need of something new in their life. I think that you making that leap of faith, I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. as well as making your own destiny. So it's kind of, I know, a little bit on the opposite end, but I feel like they work hand in hand. It could be the perfect time for you to speak to that person in their life. So you could have been, or could be, the perfect impact to make that person either switch, become something different, or change whatever they need in their life to be that much greater.
Laziness is a big thing for people. A lot of people, what they do is they get home and they just,
Yeah.
they don't do anything after that. They just get into that lazy mode where they just they get into that routine, as you were saying.
Some of the laziness, or a lot of it, comes from, there's a lot of hard-working people out there. You just worked a full 8 hours. You did God knows what fires and fixed everything in your job. And we all know how it feels like to be that person that's putting it 110%, maybe not getting the same elsewhere, and, having that burden or having that stress. So you go somewhere for 8 hours a day, you come home gassed, tired, physically, emotionally, mentally, but that right there isn't going to be enough to stop something that you're really passionate about. Because I'll tell you, just to give you an example of more of like an item, if you will, if you're a gamer and you have that one game that you love and you just bought it and you cannot wait to play that game. I don't care what the hell I did for 18, 20 hours before that. As soon as I get home and I pop that disc in, I got my seat, I got my whatever ready. I got my soda. I'm gonna enjoy this. I can't wait, right? That passion, that right there, that is what you need.
Laziness is a contagious energy, in my opinion.
It is.
And if you're around people who are lazy, you're gonna start to become a part of that. You have to change your environment, the people you're surrounding yourself with first. But then also, what I do for me personally is I always look at my work, my job, as just the beginning of the day, pretty much. Like, that's not my job, even though it's where I work, but it's not my job.
Just putting your time in.
Yeah, so then when I get off of work, that's when I consider myself working. Like, now I need to go to work. What do I want to do? Where am I, so I have myself planned out, and I'll just be like, this is what I'm doing today, as soon as I get off work, and I'll start working on it immediately. I don't like really take breaks. Like, I'll go home, I'll get changed, get into my clothes, and start working on it. If you procrastinate on something, you say, I'm going to do this tomorrow, always question that and say, why not now? Like, why not now? Why am I holding myself back from doing it now? And if you don't have a legit reason, then yeah, you should start on it right now.
I like that. It's kind of like a momentum thing, right? So you don't want to gas yourself out later when you can do it right then and there, when you know that you're going to be efficient about it and have not a mess to worry about later, if you will. When you try something different and you enjoy it, that's a sense of euphoria that is worth taking a risk for. Just surrounding yourself with people that are opposites of you are also a good thing. Just not opposite to the point to where they're negative people. More opposites to where they're gonna drive you to do different things. I don't know if you guys are these kinds of people or not, but I've already put up my Christmas lights. So if you haven't already done so, if you wait till after Thanksgiving, you're doing it wrong. You gotta put it on November 1st, just to let you know. That's the way it works.
Yeah, I'm usually a December person, and then I take it right down.
Yeah. Like, that's it. Season joy is over. It's too expensive. That's it. I'm over it.
But I'll be in the spirit the whole December.
Yeah.
But January 2nd,
then no folly or jolly or none of that.
It's just like
back to reality. Yeah, I feel it.
But I do my room too, so my room looks all Christmased out. So
I can't do my room.
I'll
deck the halls.
You get those after Christmas discounts.
Yeah.
Everything goes on discount after Christmas.
I got Halloween candies from last year.
When the candy goes on sale, sometimes it goes on sale the day of Halloween. So that's when I get my Halloween candy. The day of Halloween, I'm like,
that's smart.
I'm about to go out.
Yeah, screw us. I'll show that, dude. Everybody's getting Tootsie Rolls today.
30% off?
Yeah, shit, don't mind.
The mac and cheese is good. The overall verdict on this food, you guys kind of heard it. We gave you guys the rating.
6.5. But the mac and cheese was kind of good.
That's our verdict on that.
That's it.
I don't know. If you guys know a place that's pretty good, that
We gotta
serve
stop
some
that.
good food. Yeah, so if you guys have any recommendations, I guess let us know. Anyone, if you guys are struggling with stuff like finding your passion and stuff like that as well, we talked a lot about that, so let us know in the comment section as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Talk about that.
If there was something that you heard that you thought was, something that maybe needs to be highlighted more on, or maybe you kind of want to go into it a little bit more in the future, just something that we can kind of get ideas off of and speak about that topic. And if you didn't like anything that you heard, or maybe you don't agree with it, let us know too, because it's all about perspective and point of view. If you guys can help us grow as people as well, maybe just understand something a little bit better, it's only going to, help us be better people as well. So
Definitely. Make sure to follow us both. You guys will see our information.
Yeah.
Comment in the description box and probably somewhere on the screen.
Yeah.
Down here or something.
All that stuff.
You'll see it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a coin flip. Hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you guys can stay connected with us and follow us on this journey. And as always, make sure to keep growing, keep loving, keep connecting, and keep spreading light. Bye, guys.
Peace.